Welcome back to the channel, Den members. If you're anything like me, you like secret stashaways, secret compartments, secret hideaways. One of my ultimate home goals is to have a hidden away secret room that is just out of sight, but in plain sight. Now, while I am not to a point in my life where I can have a tucked away, hidden away armory in some corner of my house, there are still ways to hide a gun in plain sight. Stay tuned. Now I can already hear you. Matt, we know that these lockable cabinets, these lockable coffee tables, the shelves that drop open if you have biometric or RFID tags, we know they exist, but they are a lot of money. Well, while that is true, if you were to buy an all-inclusive, all-included pre-assembled kit, you can get something like a storage cabinet, a secret lifting coffee table, fairly inexpensively on Amazon. And with just a few tweaks, and I'll go over that in just a minute, you can make this a lockable storage device. That's not opening until you put, in my case, a magnet in the right spot. Now, before I continue, I do have some Amazon links down in the description to items similar to this coffee table, but I'm going to tell you that you can apply this method to just about anything that has an opening lid, opening cabinets, and you'll understand why in just a moment. As you can see, this is just a simple coffee table with an opening lid.
How'd that get in there?
The lid is just a hinged, springed system with pretty good retention. It does hold steady pretty well. And this furniture is really just designed to add a little more functional storage space, or as I like to think of it, giving those of us that like secret storage spots the ability to scratch an itch. But just having a secret compartment that you simply move the lid out of the way to get to a firearm, that is not ideal for me. And that's where the magic, if you will, comes in. This is a magnetic child safety lock. They are very inexpensive on Amazon, and all it does is latch on to a little hook right here on the lid. The way you disengage the lock, you just simply put the magnet directly above it and it disengages the lock. It shouldn't have to be called out, but I'm going to do it because it's a magnet, it's not proprietary. So you could use any magnet that you have around as long as the magnetic field that it creates is strong enough to go through and penetrate the thickness of whatever material you are using in your compartment or your cabinet or what have you.
Science!
So we'll close this, and once again, I'll wrench on it. See, it doesn't want to open. Obviously, this is not going to be on the same level of security as something like a gun safe, unless of course it's a Liberty gun safe, in which case. But again, all you have to do is put the magnet in the right spot and the lid will open. Now there is a manual override flip switch on the bottom of these child locks, which will lock the latch in the unlocked position, if that made any sense. So if you find that it is not latching, you might want to check to make sure that is not flipped up. Something else you'll notice, I added some padding to the base of the compartment. This is just a neoprene pad that I've glued down. It's not completely glued down, and I do still need to do some touch-up work there. But I wanted to put a padded material in here so it would both protect whatever I stored in this cabinet as well as the cabinet itself from getting beat up. I'll also note that it keeps things from shifting around if you do bump the table. I also want to call out that people may consider lining the cabinet or whatever they're using with a closed cell foam. That is absolutely an option. I decided not to go with this. I was originally going to, but I decided not to use this, mostly because at the time I didn't really know what firearm or firearms I would be swapping in here, and that made me realize, you know, I might change out what's in here. I might add to it over time. Something else I want to call out is these magnets. You can put them in something, so you don't have to have some random suspicious looking magnet sitting around that people might kind of catch on like, oh, maybe that gets me in something. You could mount this in the base of a small statue, a hollowed out book, what have you, that is nearby to whatever storage you are using this with. And you can just grab it and put it over the hot spot, as it were, to unlock your compartment. I also want to call out that there are other locking options. You can buy RFID kits. You can even buy battery-powered biometric fingerprint scanners that do essentially the same thing. The reason I didn't go with something a little more high-tech is because the more complicated you make something, the more likely it is to fail. Another thing I want to call out is that you can have multiple locks in the system. So you could have one here, you could have one over here, and instead of just having one statue or book or object, you could put things in two places to have it unlocked. Let me know what you think of this. If this is something you want to see more of on the channel, as I said at the beginning of the video, it is a small dream of mine to someday have a family safe room, a hidden away gun room that is accessible through something that you would not even think was an entrance. Don't lie, you've all kind of wanted a bookcase door at some point in your life. That's gonna do it for this video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. Go check us out on X and thephantomllamasden.com. Go follow us on Twitch, where we game and get out of hand on the weekend. As always, don't take life too seriously and make it a great day.